What's going on again, everybody? Welcome back to the garage. So, a little bit of an update. We had some parts delivered today. Can you guess what they are? I'll give you a hint. They helped stop the car. Finally. So, I'm going to go open that up. We'll, do the unboxing together. Hopefully, this came out right because obviously we did have our friend over at Arizona Powder Coat take care of this. His name is Hugo. Hopefully, Hugo did us right and got this done proper. So we're gonna open this up. I'll move you guys over. We'll get going. They definitely wanted to package this up right. We're gonna see. We're hoping. They're all individually wrapped. Oop, this one's got some stuff on it. Hopefully it didn't damage it. Okay, cool. So it's just around the actual fill port. Oh man, look at that color, guys. Wow, very nice. Okay. So that part I knew about. He did tell me it was obviously because of the baking process. The oil itself heats. So that part's okay. That's 1 of 4. Let's check the other ones. Very nice. Same thing. It has just by the fill port. Obviously you hear the girls out back being noisy as usual. Now here's the back ones. These are the ones that one of these was the one that we were concerned about in the first place. So let's see. Very nice. Oop. Okay. So it looks like we're gonna have to replace the seals on these, which is unfortunate, but that just means now I'm gonna have to get a rebuild kit for this one, it looks like. Because it looks like the rubber is damaged on this side here. Yep. Dang it. Well, the actual calipers came out perfect. Obviously with the exception of some oil leakage just around the fill ports themselves or the actual connectors themselves. But now I'm going to have to get a rebuild kit for all of these here, especially this one here, because that is not making contact whatsoever. And obviously this one here is completely all the way out. So I'll have to figure that out now. I was planning on installing these this weekend. This kind of puts a wrench in that plan, but we'll figure that out. And anyways, thanks to Arizona Powder Coat. Hugo, you definitely did what you said you were going to do. They all look amazing, except for obviously what we talked about. And we're all good. So the next part of the video is maybe doing a rebuild on those. Don't know. We'll have to catch you guys here in the next part. So we'll be back in a moment. Okay, so a little bit of an update from the last little clip that you saw. We have some more changes of plans. I did order the rebuild kits for the calipers so we can go through and get that part done. However, my intentions were to upload a coffee video in the place of this one that you're watching right now. That's obviously not working. The reason being is because I needed to tell you that, yes, I did order the rebuild kits, but apparently they're in demand right now because they are not being delivered early. So you're obviously watching this on Friday, and Tuesday is when we're supposed to be getting those, or at least one of them. So one rebuild kit is for the front, one rebuild kit is for the back. It's actually a set. So that's kind of cool that I didn't have to sit there and buy 4 different ones. It's just 2, but one of them is being delayed. So that's not cool. So your next video that you see is probably going to be a coffee video. Don't know yet. We'll have to see because it just depends on how things are going with this. I did go through and redo the connection for the heater that wraps around the bottle itself. I didn't like how it looked. I did find a nicer connection. and you guys will see that here shortly. For the inside of the car right now, we are kind of at a standstill because I also did get a hold of the manufacturer of our new harness bar, which is BK Auto, or Bray Kraus, so BK Auto is their website, but we reached out to some awesome people with them, and then I did actually get a hold of, well, I'll say this. I got a hold of 2 companies. Only one of them is actually going to be responding to us in this situation, and for whatever reason, the one here in Arizona didn't want to answer their phones, so, or the second time around, because they were supposed to call me back. They never did. So we're not going to go with them. I did find a company that's actually out of Virginia, which is really cool, and so they're going to be sending us the parts to do the entire build of the harness bar installation. So I'm getting the actual mounting brackets as well as the proper mounting hardware. So everything that we just bought from Home Depot, I'm not going to end up using because obviously I'd rather have the OEM stuff. So that's the good way to go. So yeah. The next thing, because at this point we're just going to be doing a little bit of projects. See, that's where I'm at. Little projects. We're going to go through next and get the clock spring finished because we need to get the steering wheel back on because we need to get the seats back in. So then I can do the installation for the wire. You see how I'm stacking all these different projects here at this point. I need to get that done. I don't think it's going to take me that long. I just need to go through and modify, obviously, the clock spring itself. I need to, well, I'm beta testing. I have an idea. I think it's going to work, but I need to test that theory, so I'm going to have to do some modifications, and you guys will see probably in the next video. Might see that later in this video. Don't know yet. We're going to pause the clip here, and I will be right back. Okay, so like I was talking about for the heater, I did find a better way of going about it. Rather than having the loose connections on the end like we had before, we went through and I found a really nice connector that actually separates. So basically with this here, it's almost like the old style light plugs for trailers and stuff like that. It is a heavier duty gauge for the actual plastic coating. It's still the same gauge of wire though, so there's not going to be any issues there. And not to mention with this heater, from the actual manufacturer of nitrous outlet, they were saying that it is a 14 gauge wire that's required for the heater itself. So that's obviously what we bought previously that we just did our whole entire harness that we made. And then this here is also the 14. So now we've got a nice little connector that will go through and click together very quick and easy. So if we ever need to take the bottle out, which obviously we're going to have to do to fill, I don't have to take the actual heater off. I can just leave it on there, take it out, get the bottle filled, put it right back in, button everything up, and it's all good to go. So anyways, now that you guys have seen that, we are going to move on to the next thing. Okay, so I went through and I modified it. I got the ribbon cable all the way through. I got it all nice and tidy. It does actually spin, which is really good, obviously. And then I did actually go through and put on a connector on that end. This is the other end that's obviously going to go to this. This is actually going to go inside of the steering column itself. And then this side is the part that is going into the steering wheel itself. I don't have any actual connectors because I don't want to use another one of these because of how big it is. Plus, we need to have 2 of these on the inside of the steering wheel. So I went through and I just ordered some stuff on Amazon, which is actually supposed to be delivered tomorrow at this point. Yeah, tomorrow. To where basically there's 8 wires here and they're going to be in pairs of 2. So I actually, and just like I did on this side here, which you obviously can't see now, I did go through and they are 2 for 1 of these here. So I'm going to go through and have 4 go off to the left, 4 go off to the right of the steering wheel portion of it, because at that point we're going to take 2 of the 4 in one direction and have that as one connector. So basically there's going to be one lead that goes up into the switch, the other side comes out of the switch back down into the actual ribbon cable here. So I know, very intuitive, it's very basic. I'm just hoping that this here, because obviously this is just a test at this point. I mean, it does fully rotate. It is a little snug, which is to be expected because we obviously added a thicker actual ribbon cable that's got basically a plastic sheathing on the outside of it, where the ones that are on the inside of it, it's just basically a flat piece of copper inside of a flat piece of plastic. So I mean, it is different. That's why there's a little bit of friction to that point, but because of them both being encased in plastic, I don't see it being an issue. And I mean, worst case scenario, the only thing that's going to really affect it is the steering controls on the actual steering wheel itself. The points for the airbag are actually a thicker piece of plastic in here, and it's on the outside, so it's not actually up against the ribbon cable at all. It's just the steering controls that are. So I mean, if worst case, you know, it's race car, it's going to be a daily, and it's Bluetooth for everything, but I don't really use the steering controls that much, except for cruise control, which is very rare, and pretty much nothing else on the steering wheel. I mean, eventually I might even just take the whole steering wheel out and put basically a quick disconnect steering column in there, but I haven't decided on that one there. It's been on my mind, especially considering all the other channels that I watch. So there's a lot of them that are doing the quick disconnect, because in this way, when you put the racing seats in, and with the actual racing seat itself, because of how close you are to the steering wheel, you need to be able to get out of the vehicle. So having that quick disconnect where you can put the steering wheel out of the way, it just makes it a lot simpler to that effect. But obviously we don't have to worry about that right now, because this is what we need. And at this point, because I've pretty much done the small projects for this part, and I'm pretty much out of time tonight, I'm just going to end the video here. Make sure that you like the video if you like it. Comment on it if you guys have any ideas of anything else I can do or even try differently. Put it in the comment. If you guys are new to the channel and you like content like this, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate everybody here. With that, also, just as a reminder for our existing and so that our new people know, the channel itself, as soon as we get to YouTube's requirements for the monetization aspect, we're actually going to be giving away the paycheck. The first paycheck that we get. More than likely the ones after that as well. We're going to kind of raffle them off. So obviously if you guys like this, share it out to everybody too, because in this way you could probably win the giveaway. So anyways, thank you for joining us here again at SSBC.Garage. Welcome to, my nightmare. We're almost done though. We're almost through it. But anyways, you guys have a good day, and we will talk later.